Catalina first appeared as Pontiac's hardtop offering, which was what General Motors and Ford did in the early 50s to set apart or make the hardtop offering more special in their lineups. Chevy had the Bel Air, Pontiac, Catalina, Oldsmobile, Holiday, Buick, Riviera, Cadillac, Coupe de Ville. Anyway, once the nuance of the hardtop wore off and the body style became a staple across all of the respected lines, Catalina would be offered as Pontiac's basement offering from 1959 through 1981. And it's important to point out it was offered as a trim on Chieftain 8 and Deluxe 8 from 1950 to 1959. Offered in 5 generations, 1959 falls in the first generation, which was produced in 1959 and 1960. In 1959, Pontiac would drop Chieftain and Super Chief, which were junior models, and replace them with Catalina. The Catalina would ride the smallest wheelbase of all of the offerings, riding a 122-inch wheelbase. Star Chief was in the middle, riding a 124-inch wheelbase, and at the top was the Bonneville, riding the same 124-inch wheelbase. Pontiac offered wagons in both Catalina and Bonneville Safari, but it's important to point out that the Bonneville Safari rides the smaller 122-inch wheelbase chassis. 1959 Catalina could be had as a 2-door sports sedan, 2-door convertible, 4-door sedan, 4-door Vista hardtop, 2-door sedan, and 6 or 9 passenger wagon. Standard features include, but not limited to, dual electric windshield wipers, dual footwell vents, dual sun visors, directional signals, locking glove box, some options, not getting into all of the options, but here are a few. Wonder Touch, power steering, Ever Level Air Ride, which was essentially air chamber shock absorbers, Safety differential, which was their limited slip differential, air conditioning, heat and defroster, power windows, transistor radio. So basically, if you wanted anything extra with the car, or what we consider to be extra or standard equipment now, you had to pay for it back in the day. As previously mentioned, 1959 was the first year for Catalina to have its own separate line of cars. But let's compare what came before: the 1958 Pontiac Chieftain Catalina on top, 59 Catalina on the bottom, starting in the front. And I know you can't get any different than these two, but it's interesting to see where the design came from and where the design went. But let's talk about some similarities before getting into all of the differences. Both of them have single-piece wraparound windshields, albeit done differently. Both of them have opposing windshield wipers. Both of them have quad headlights. Both of them are made by Pontiac. Let's talk about the differences. Just about everything is different. The bumpers are designed completely different. Look at how massive the bumper profile is on the 58 in reference to the 59. It's a whole lot cleaner design on the 59. The 59 has 2 grills with that beak in the center, whereas the 58 doesn't have that. It has a long horizontal grill that's uninterrupted. Headlights sit up higher on the 58 versus slightly lower on the 59. Also, just take into account all of the differences going on. There's so much, but the wheel openings in the front, they look very similar shaped. That's super interesting. Moving to the side profile, as previously mentioned, both windshields are different. Just take a gander at the different profiles in the windshield, which also give different roof profiles and different vent window profiles. Side mirror placement has also changed between these two, going from mounted on the door on the 58 to mounted on the fender on the 59. Also, just take into account that how longer, lower, wider the 59 is compared to the 58. Because these two have different roof profiles, the quarter window situation is totally different. The 58 has this reverse angle that comes back, whereas the 59 doesn't have that, and it has thinner posts in the back. The 59 has fins, whereas the 58 doesn't. The 59 brake lights are mounted lower than the 58. Backup lights have been relocated to higher on the 59. Gas filler location has also been changed. On the 58, it's probably behind the license plate. On the 59, it's just above the license plate, off and to the right. You'll see it when we do the walk around. Jumping inside to take a quick gander at the interior and dash situation. which you've guessed it, both are totally different. The 58 is way brighter in every single way. There's a lot of chrome in the interior of the 58. On the 59, I don't want to say utilitarian because that's kind of like not as fancy as the 58, but the 58 I could see being kind of problematic in super sunshine weather with blinding lights glaring off of it. So which one would you prefer in the comment section below? If you're new to the channel, welcome to What It's Like. Give us a like and maybe subscribe so you never miss a video. Let's talk specs. 213.7 inches long, 80 inches wide, 54 inches tall. It rides a wheelbase of 122 inches. It weighs 3,900 pounds. Price, $2,770, which would be equivalent to you spending $30,042.13 in the year 2025. Total 1959 Pontiac was 383,320 units, of which total Catalina was 233,561 units. Moving on to engines, there was only one engine on offer, but it could be had in a bunch of different flavors. It could either be had in a 215, 245, 280, or 314 horsepower configurations. The 314 had tri-power or 3 carburetors at 4,400 RPM up to 425 pound-feet or 576 newton meters around 2,400 RPM with a bore of 4.1 inches and a stroke of 3.8 inches. Compression was anywhere between 8.6 to 10 to 1 with 5 main bearings. When backed with a 3-speed manual transmission on the highest horsepower tri-power 314 horsepower, 0 to 60 could be had in 7.2 seconds with a theoretical top speed of 140 miles per hour while achieving an average of 10 miles to the gallon. You could get more out of it if you got the lower horsepower figures. Those are just average numbers, just jumping off points. Lots of contributing facts also play into it, like what the final gear ratio was, what your elevation level is. Mileage may literally vary. If you're looking for a 1959 Pontiac Catalina hardtop, I know a place where one is currently for sale. Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania, where they got this car, and they got over 1,000 other cars for sale when recording this episode. Anybody can go there, and it's like an indoor car show when you go there. And I swear, when you walk through the front doors for the very first time, I swear you can hear angels sing. 4 hours of operation, directions, and to get the full scoop on this very car. Also, they are a consignment dealer. So if you have a classic car that you want to sell, but you don't want any of the headache or the hassle of selling it, because I, for one, know I've sold cars. You don't want to be attached to your phone all day, dealing with people that don't have money, that want to work a deal, and then you find out that they don't have any money to buy the car. You don't have to deal with any of that hassle if you just go through Classic Auto Mall. And with financing and shipping options available, they could sell cars to anyone and ship them anywhere. 4 hours of operation to Classic Auto Mall. And to get the full scoop on this 1959 Pontiac Catalina, be sure to click the link below, which will be in the description below after the show. Let's talk styling on this absolutely gorgeous car. Starting with the headlight bezels, just notice how they are recessed back inside here. Also, check out this. Doesn't it look like a figure 8 almost? Just look at all of the design going on with that. Bumpers. Notice how it protrudes. Lots of different design elements going on inside that bumper. Turn signal indicators tucked inside there. Grill. Notice it's a split grill. Pontiac. Also, just check out how aggressive this is in the hood profile, going back towards the wraparound windshield with windshield wipers that oppose. Fender markers there. Coming down the side profile, just look at all the different lines sculpted inside the sheet metal. Bumper profile again. These bumpers are really nice. Also check out this and how it comes back. The fenders are flared and then they cap off and sort of continue the flare. This car does not have rocker molding or rocker trim. The hood profile is relatively smooth aside from this bit here, and it's got a lot of different things going on. It fans out towards the windshield, tapers going towards the front. It also gets higher as it goes towards the front. Just check that out. So that's interesting. It does have lines on the fenders. This one is sitting on 225/15 75 R14. The side mirrors are mounted on the fender just in front of the wraparound windshield. This one has an external cowl with windshield wipers that oppose. Just take a gander at how that windshield looks, the profile of it. Big piece of glass. This car has drip rails which start right here and they run the cabin of the car. So just check out where this fin starts. Also notice it's not just one fin, it's two fins, and it comes together sort of like that piece on the hood. And then it fans out, it spreads out as it goes back to the rear. Also this unique line here. The rear fenders are flared as well. Also check out this boomerang. Catalina displayed on the fin. It has a reverse fin and or skeg in the bumper profile. This rear bumper, totally different in design than the front bumper. Backup lights. Brake lights, Pontiac spelled out block formation on the rear. Right here is where the gas filler is. The deck lid is completely smooth without a center line. This door has quite a bit of heft to it. Looks like the door panel material is vinyl. Lots of different textures and effects going on. Two-toneness with the door panel itself. There's an armrest as well as door handle to pull the door shut. Door handle to get out. Door handle to get out. Window crank for the vent window and a window crank for the bigger window down there. Coming down inside the pedal box, you have the high beam switch, brake, gas pedal. Just take a look at this interior. Nice, solid feeling shut. Just take a look at what this over the hood view looks like. This is what first person over the hood would look like. Up above you have sun visors. One for driver, one for passenger, rear view mirror, daytime, nighttime feature in center. The sun visors don't have anything to do with the mirror, so you can have both sun visors down and the mirror displayed without it affecting your visibility out the back glass. Notice this glove box has cup holder indentations. 4 cup holder indentations, suggesting that you can have 4 people sit across in this space up here. It is rather wide. As well as an ashtray over here for the passenger. I'll get that open here in a minute. So this would be an ashtray if this wasn't the Catalina. Because it's the Catalina, it's just they just welded it in there. So I'm not trying to be creepy or anything. I mean, Leno talks about a thin steering wheel. I just like showing some of these steering wheel profiles. That's all. Just trying to show you without being creepy. It's a really nice steering wheel profile. 2-spoke steering wheel with Pontiac insignia in the center. And it's huge too. Getting in the rear, just fold the seat forward like that. It's all the further it pivots out of the way, allowing plenty of access to get in the back. Here is what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the greenhouse or the pillar to glass ratio in this car. Nice and airy. The pillows. The pillars are very small in this car, which give it almost the impression that it doesn't even really have a top on it at all. Yes, huge back glass back here. It's not as big as the front piece of glass, but it's insanely big. Also notice how far the glass goes up before it connects to the roof. So whoever's sitting back here, depending on what location you live in, if you live in California, you might get sunburned in this car from just sitting in it. But huge parcel shelf, and that is what visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. Let's talk about seat back profile. The profile, it dips down drastically back here. The back is rather upright. It's not uncomfortable. I have my other leg opening in this door so I don't get stuck back here. Creature comforts, there's the coat hook there. Dome light in center, which is controllable from this switch back here, which is interesting. The switch is on this side. Is there a switch on that side? No, it's just from this side. Interesting. And another coat hook over there. There is an armrest as well as ashtray, because you know you got to be able to smoke. And the window, the massive quarter window, does go down, and it operates like this. I always think they're so cool. There's so much engineering that goes into that. And then it has this pillarless hardtop look. Coming to the under the hood section, the hood release is right here. And you push it up towards the bumper. There is another catch. It's right here. And you just kind of push it in. Really heavy hood. Super heavy hood. Check out this piece. And they complained about the Edsel. That looks very feminine. Very feminine if you ask me. So just check out the radiator wall. Dual horns. 12-volt battery with battery disconnect switch, which is really smart if you have a classic car or vintage car. This is a $389. So check out that interesting fan shroud. The minimalistic fan shroud. Coolant reservoir, which is a plastic container. Radiator. This is a single belt system with a generator. Water pump fan combo. All being controlled by the crankshaft. Powered by the crankshaft, I should say. On the positive side, spacious throughout, great visibility, 1 year only body design, because in 1960 it goes to a totally different body design. Powerful engine choices available. Well, technically, it's all the same engine, just dressed out a little bit differently with carburetors and such, but you can make it have the 314 horsepower with very little work against it. Make no mistake, this is a big car. Higher horsepower, multiple carburetor versions of the 389 don't get good gas mileage, but the biggest negative for this car is that it rides on the infamous General Motors X-frame. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. 2 scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1959 Mercury Monterey or 1959 Pontiac Catalina or 1959 Dodge Corvette? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. On to the second scenario, and this one's a bit outside the box, but which one would you rather have? 1959 Studebaker Hawk, which surprisingly would be cheaper than this car, starting at $2,490, or 1959 Pontiac Catalina, or 1959 Plymouth Savoy. Once again, going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below. I read it and answer all comments posted. I don't say that for self-worth. I just say if you take the time to write a comment, I will definitely take time to read it. So I'll see you in the comment section, but until next time, toodaloo! If you've made it this far, welcome to the after show. This part of the video doesn't have any sound and or commentary, but you have the privilege, or the opportunity, I should say, to put whatever sound or commentary you would like in the background. It also gives you the opportunity to see these cars like you've never saw them before, with all of the different trim and where it goes and all of the different lines. So gorgeous. Enjoy.